नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली व नुसल्लिमु अला सय्यिदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन रसूलिहिन नबिय्यिल अमीनिल मकीनिल हनीनिल करीमिर रऊफिर रहीम। अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह वल्लज़ीना मअहु अशिद्दाउ अलल कुफ़्फ़ारि रुहमाउ बैनहुम। सदक़ल्लाहु मौलाना अल-अलिय्युल अज़ीम व सदक़ रसूलुहुन नबिय्युल करीमुल अमीन। मौला यसल्लि व सल्लिम दाइमन अबदा अला हबीबिका खैरिल खल्क़ि कुल्लिहिम। या रब्बि बिल मुस्तफ़ा बल्लिग़ मक़ासिदना वग़फ़िर लना मा मदा या वासिअल करमी। Respectable ladies and gentlemen, dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah tabaraka wa ta'ala, the blessed month of Muharramul Haram has been started, and this is not just the starting of this month, this is the starting of the new Islamic year 1442. And Alhamdulillah tabaraka wa ta'ala, in this weekly Majlis E Ilm, the sitting of knowledge, we are trying to share the guidance and the knowledge given by Allah Almighty. First of all, we make dua in front of Allah Almighty that Allah remove all the burdens and hardships and problems in this Islamic year from the Ummah of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam, and may Allah give everyone success and happiness in this life and the life hereafter. Brothers and sisters, the starting of Muharramul Haram, the first of Muharramul Haram, is actually the day of the Shahadat and the martyrdom of Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who is the second caliph and one of the most famous companions and the Sahabi of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam. And along with that, this month, as every one of us we know, this month is related to the sacrifice, the shahadat and the martyrdom of Sayyid al-Shuhada, Imam Ali Muqam, the son of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza and Sayyida Fatimah al-Zahra, and the grandson of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam, Sayyidina Imam Hussain alayhi salam wa radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and all of his family. Today's discussion, inshallah, this is a different topic, and we will try to mention both of the relations which are related to Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam, the Sahaba, the companions, and also the family and the Ahle Bait of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam. And the topic of today's discussion is the love and the relation between the Ahlul Bayt and the family of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam and the Sahaba and the companions of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam. The words which we have heard in the starting, the verse which we read, that is chapter number 48 and verse number is 29. Allah Almighty says, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the messenger and the Rasul of Allah Almighty. Wallazina ma'ahu, and those who are in the company of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam, those who are in the ma'iyyat of Rasulullah alayhi salatu salam. So Allah Almighty mentioned some of the characteristics and the fadail of those who are in the company of Rasulullah. Ashidda'u alal kuffar, in the dealing with the kuffar, they are very tough and hard. And ruhama'u baynahum, and if it comes to the relation between them, so then they are very kind and merciful to each other. So from this verse of the Quran, we can actually learn that there are two fountains, or there are two kinds of relation and the fuyuzat coming from Rasulullah ﷺ to the Ummah. The first one and the first fountain is the blood relation of Rasulullah ﷺ, the relation of the blood, the relation of the family of Rasulullah ﷺ. These are called the people of the Ahle Bait, the people of the Qarabat of Rasulullah ﷺ. And the second relation and the second nisbat and the second fountain which is coming, that is the fountain of the companionship of Rasulullah ﷺ, the fountain of the Sahabiyat of Rasulullah ﷺ. So those who are related to the family and the blood relation of Rasulullah ﷺ, they are called Ahlul Bait. And those who are in the company of Rasulullah ﷺ as the followers of Rasulullah ﷺ, so they are called the companion and the Sahaba of Rasulullah ﷺ. So being a Muslim, we cannot leave any of those relations. We have to attach to Ahlul Bayt, and we have to be attached ourselves also to the Sahaba and the companions of Rasulullah ﷺ. If any person wants to attach to one of these fountains and he is leaving the other one, so his iman is not accepted and his iman is not complete in the eyes of Allah and in the eyes of Rasulullah ﷺ. So in one hand we have to hold the relation of the Ahlul Bayt and the family of Rasulullah ﷺ, and also in the other hand we have to hold the relation and the nisbat and the mahabbat and the love of the Sahaba and the companions of Rasulullah ﷺ. And about them Allah Almighty says in the Quran that their qualities and their characteristics are that when the matter comes against the kuffar and when the matter is to defend the deen, so they are very hard and tough. But when it comes to their relation with each other, when it comes to their mutual relations, so then they are very merciful and they are very kind to each other. Ruhama'u baynahum. So they are very rahim to each other. They are very merciful and passionate to each other. So we are going to focus the second part of this verse, that ruhama'u baynahum, they are kind to each other, they are merciful to each other, and they are passionate to each other in the matter of dealing. How? There are so many evidences upon this, that the love of Sahaba with the Ahlul Bayt, it is also mentioned in the books of Hadith, and also the love of Ahlul Bayt with the Sahaba Kiram, that is also mentioned in the Hadith. So they both used to love each other, they both have the respect for each other, and even they both were actually ready to sacrifice their lives for each other. Rasulullah ﷺ has joined them and combined them in a relation, the relation of mercy, the relation of passion, the relation of love, the relation of mutual respect, that they were kind to each other, and their relation with each other, and among them that was a relation which is unexceptional. This is, you can say, the relation, it is, no one can give an example of that relation. That was a very kind of unique relation, the relation between the Sahaba and the Ahlul Bayt. Now coming to some of the evidences for that. If we see that how much the companions are the Sahaba, and specifically we are going to talk more about Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu and Khulafai Rashideen, definitely Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Usman radiyallahu ta'ala anhum. So the love of the Sahaba and specifically the Khulafa with Ahlul Bayt, it is unique in a way that this is a very famous hadith. Sayyida Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha reports that Ra'aytu Abu Bakr يكثر النظر إلى وجه علي. Sayyida Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, who is the mother of the believers, al-Mu'mineen, the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the daughter of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu. She says that, and she reports that, I saw my father, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that in the majlis, in the sitting, frequently and continuously, and more often he used to see the beautiful face of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And when it was asked that we have seen you, that you are watching to the beautiful face of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu in the majlis frequently and more often, so what's the reason behind that? So Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, see his love with the family of Rasulullah and the love with Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza. He says that, I have heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, An-nazru ila wajhi aliyin ibadah, that sight upon the face of Sayyidina Ali and looking at the beautiful face of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu is the ibadat and worship of Allah Almighty. So by looking at the face of Sayyidina Ali, I am actually doing the worship and the ibadat of Allah Almighty, and I am fulfilling one of the commandments of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the love of the Sahaba and the Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, specifically with Sayyidina Ali karamallahu wajhul kareem. And there is another hadith, and that hadith is mentioned in Sahih al-Muslim and many other books of hadith, and that is that every one of us, we know that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the only Hajj and the last Hajj, Hajjatul Wida, which was done by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the 9th of Hijrah, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was returning from that Hajj, so at the place of Ghadir Khum, so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he announced something by holding the hand of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he says that, Man kuntu mawlahu fahaza aliyun mawla. Whoever accept me as his mawla, as his master, as his beloved, as his helper. There are different meanings of mawla. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that whoever accept me and he thinks that I am his mawla, I am his helper, I am the one who is the focus of his love, and I am his mawla and master. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Man kuntu mawlahu fa aliyun mawlahu. Whoever thinks that I am his mawla, so he should have this belief and this faith that Ali al-Murtaza is also his mawla. So whoever accept me as his mawla, so he have to accept Sayyidina Ali karamallahu wajhul kareem radiyallahu ta'ala anhu as his mawla. We have been listening this hadith, but the thing which I want to mention is that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam announced that Ali is the mawla of all the believers and all the mu'mineen, and in one hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Aliyun mawla kulli mu'minin wa mu'minatin ba'di. Ali is the mawla and the wali of every single mu'min and mu'mina after me. So after the announcement that Sayyidina Ali is the mawla, you know who is the first one to come to Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza and congratulate Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza upon getting this status? That was Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. In Sahih Muslim it is the hadith that Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu came to Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza and he says that, Bakh bakh laka ya Ali ibn Abi Talib. O Ali, the son of Abu Talib, I congratulate you hundreds and thousands of times. Congratulations to you. And then he announced that Anta Mawla Ya wa Mawla kulli mu'minin wa mu'minatin. After the announcement of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you are now my Mawla and you are the Mawla of all the mu'min, believer, male and female. So the first one to come to Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza and congratulates him upon this status and getting this azmat and merit and the fadilat, that was Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So brothers and sisters, we can see this was the love of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza, which was in the heart of Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala, that he used to frequently watch the face of Sayyidina Ali karamallahu wajhul kareem. And also this was the love of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza, which was in the heart of Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that after this announcement he came to him and he declared that you are my Mawla and you are Mawla of all the mu'mineen believers and all the male believers and female believers. Then there is other hadith which is about Sayyida Tunisa'il Alameen, Sayyida Fatima Zahra Salamullahi alayha wa radiyallahu ta'ala anha. And this is the hadith, and the only reporter of this hadith in the books of hadith, the only reporter which has reported this hadith, that is Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And why I am emphasizing on this? Because if they don't have the love with each other, and they don't have the respect with each other, so definitely there was no need that if he had heard something about Sayyida Fatima Zahra Salamun alayha, about her merit, about her fadilat, so if they don't have the love and the respect for each other, so he don't need to mention this to the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But because they know what is the status of the Ahle Bait in the eyes of Allah, in the eyes of Rasulullah, and they have the love of Ahle Bait in their hearts, that's why they were mentioning the fadail of Ahle Bait in front of the Ummah and in front of the people which are not present at that time. And this hadith, Imam Hakim reports in Mustadrak al-Sahihain, and many other books of hadith contain this hadith. Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala, he reports. And before mentioning this, let me add something, and that is that whenever the Sahaba and the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they want to talk to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So their practice was that before saying anything to Rasulullah, they used to say Fidaka abi wa ummi ya Rasulullah, my father and mother be sacrificed for you and upon you, O Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then they used to talk, Bi abi anta wa ummi ya Rasulullah, my parents, they should be sacrificed upon you and for your sake, O Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, O Messenger of Allah. And Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala reports, and as I mentioned, the only reporter of this hadith is Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab. Definitely from him, the other people, they get this, but he was the direct reporter of this hadith. And he says that I went to the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and over there, I saw that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wants to talk to Sayyida Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha, the daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She is the leader of all the women of Jannah. She who is the leader of the women of all the women of the universe. Sayyidatun Nisa'il Alameen, Sayyidatun Nisa'il Mu'mineen, Sayyidatun Nisa'i Ahlil Jannah. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam want to talk to Sayyida Fatima Zahra, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Bi abi anta anti wa ummi ya Fatima. And one report, Fidaki abi wa ummi ya Fatima, my father and my mother be sacrificed for you, O Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala anha. The words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is talking to Sayyida Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha, and that's his daughter. And everyone is sacrificing his parents upon Rasulullah, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is sacrificing his parents, his mother and his father upon Sayyida Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha. And he is saying that Fidaki abi wa ummi ya Fatima, Fidaki abi wa ummi ya Fatima, my father and my mother be sacrificed for you, O Fatima radiyallahu ta'ala anha. So this was the love of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza, Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Umar bin Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, with the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in this hadith we have seen that Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he is listening something from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the merit of Sayyida Fatima Zahra, and he is mentioning in the books of hadith, and he is telling that to the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That was the relation of love and respect for each other in the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then there are other ahadith which actually mention the fadilat and the fadail of Ahlul Bayt, and also the fadail of the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how much they have the mutual love with each other and mutual respect for each other. One dimension to understand this aspect is, and this would be a new thing for most of the listeners, because these things are not mentioned normally in the speeches and in the khutubat. Normally they are not mentioned. There are so many matters which should be discussed in the majalis and in the gatherings and the speeches. And one of that is the love between the Sahaba and the Ahle Bait. Salamullahi alayhim wa ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. And that is that the Sahaba, they used to give their kids the name of Ahle Bait, and the Ahle Bait used to give the name of their kids and their son upon the name of the Sahaba, and specifically the Khulafai Rashideen. If someone don't have the love with each other, and if a person does not have a relation of love and mercy and passion and relation of respect with each other, so definitely he is not going to give his son or his daughter the name of the person whom he don't love. So definitely they love each other. That's why the Ahlul Bayt used to give the name to their kids upon the name of the Khulafai Rashideen and the Sahaba Ikram of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are so many references for that. Very quickly I will inshallah try to quote some of the names which are in the books of hadith. And all the references which I am giving right now, these are the references of the book of the Ahlul Tashayyu, the Fiqhul Jafri, the people who are following the Fiqh Jafri, and they used to call themselves the Ahlul Tashayyu. So I am going to mention some of their books. Definitely these references are in the books of Ahlul Sunnah, but from quoting from the books of the Shia scholars, the reason is that no one can actually criticize and no one can actually deny this fact. Because Ahlul Sunnah, the people which belong to the Ahlul Sunnah, they definitely have this concept that the Ahlul Bayt and the Sahaba, they were on the same page and they used to love each other. They have the relation of mutual respect for each other. They have the relation of mercy and passion with each other. But some of the people, they don't have this concept on the other side. So that's why I'm quoting the books of the Ahlul Tashayyu. The first reference I'm going to quote, that is Allama Ali bin Isa Irbali, and he is one of the famous scholars of Ahlul Tashayyu, and his book name is Kashful Ghumma fi Ma'rifat al-A'imma. And in that he mentioned, there is a chapter of Babu Mawla Ali al-Murtada Karamallahu al-Kareem. There is a chapter upon the name of Sayyidina Ali Karamallahu al-Kareem, and in that chapter there is a small sub-chapter, you can say, and that is Fi Zakri Awladihi. This is the book of Ahlul Tashayyu, Kashful Ghumma Fi Ma'rifat al-A'imma by Allama Irbali. And he reports and he says that there were the awlad, the kids of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtada Karamallahu al-Kareem. How many of them? The sons and the daughters. So they actually mentioned there are two reports. The first report is that there were 25 sons and daughters collectively of Sayyidina Ali Karamallahu al-Kareem. And in one report there were 27. And he says that one of the wives of Sayyidina Ali Karamallahu al-Kareem, her name was Habiba bint Rabia. The wife of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza Karamallahu al-Kareem definitely was not given permission by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do the other nikah in the life of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra salamu alayha. But after her demise, Sayyidina Mawla Ali al-Murtaza Karamallahu al-Kareem has done other nikah. So one of his wife name is Habiba bint Rabia, and she is the wife of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza Karamallahu al-Kareem. And Imam Irbali says in Kashful Ghumma, he says that one of the name of the sons of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza was Umar. Umar was the name of the son of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza Karamallahu al-Kareem. And from the father's side, he was the brother of Sayyidina Imam Hassan and the brother of Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma wa alayhimus salam. His name was Umar, and definitely the father has given the name, and the father is Ali al-Murtaza. So definitely he has so much love with Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. That's why he gave the name of Sayyidina Umar to his son, and one of the name of his son was Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Then another hadith, another report, another evidence. One of his wife name is Layla bint Mas'ud ad-Darmiya, the wife of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza Karamallahu al-Kareem. And one of his son, his name was Muhammad al-Asghar. He was famous. His name was Muhammad al-Asghar. and he was famous with the name of Abu Bakr, and he was the son of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karamallahu wajhul kareem. One of the name, the first reference I mentioned, the name of the son of Sayyidina Ali is Umar, and in the other hadith, the name of the son of Sayyidina Ali karamallahu wajhul kareem is Abu Bakr. And then there was another son of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karamallahu wajhul kareem. And there was one of the wife of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karamallahu wajhul kareem. Her name was Ummul Baneen bint Hazam bin Khalid. She was the wife of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karamallahu wajhul kareem too. And she has a son, and his name was Usman, and that name was also given by Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karamallahu wajhul kareem. See how much love, how much respect, and how much honor Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karamallahu wajhul kareem have for the first three khulafa, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Umar, and Sayyidina Usman radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that he gave the name of his sons, and he mentioned the name of his sons, and he gave the name of his sons upon the name of Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Umar, and Sayyidina Usman ridwanullahi ta'ala alayhim ajma'in. This was the love of the Ahle Bait with the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Ahle Bait, the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the Sahaba, the companions of Rasulullah, and specifically the first three khulafa. They are giving the names Abu Bakr, Umar, and Usman. And then the son of Sayyidina Ali al-Murtaza karamallahu wajhul kareem, his name is Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. We know the famous two sons of Sayyidina Ali karamallahu wajhul kareem, Hasnain Kareem, and Sayyidina Imam Hassan and Sayyidina Imam Hussain. Salamullahi alayhima. So in the same book, Kashful Ghumma, Allama Irbali says that there was one of the son of Sayyidina Imam Hassan alayhi salam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and his name was Abu Bakr. And Abu Bakr bin Hassan bin Ali, he was one of the participants of the Battle of Karbala, and he was fighting from the side of Sayyidina Imam, along with Sayyidina Imam Hussain, against the people of Yazid and the army of Yazid. His name was Abu Bakr bin Hassan bin Ali. Abu Bakr the son of Hassan, and Hassan the son of Ali. That was his name, Abu Bakr bin Hassan bin Ali, and he was one of the participants of Karbala, and Imam Hassan gave the name Abu Bakr to him because of the love and the respect he had for Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And then Sayyidina Imam Hussain radiallahu ta'ala anhu, his son is Imam Zainul Abidin, Imam Ali Zainul Abidin. So when there was a child born in the house of Sayyidina Imam Zainul Abidin, and that actually kid was the grandson of Sayyidina Imam Hussain. Sayyidina Imam Hussain has the son, his name was Ali Zainul Abidin, and there was the son of Sayyidina Imam Ali Zainul Abidin, and when he was born, so Sayyidina Imam Zainul Abidin, Ali Zainul Abidin, he gave him the name of Umar. So the grandson of the name of Sayyidina Imam Hussain is Umar. So he was called Umar bin Hussain bin Ali. Sorry, Umar bin Ali Zainul Abidin bin Hussain bin Ali. Salamullahi alayhim ajma'in. So the name of the grandson of Sayyidina Imam Hussain was Umar. So this was the love for Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that the son of Sayyidina Imam Hussain, Imam Zainul Abidin, is giving the name to his son upon the name of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So this is actually, these are the evidences that if they don't have the love with each other, they don't have the respect for each other, so definitely they will not mention and they will not give the name to their sons and their kids upon the name of Khulafai Rashidin. So there are many other things to mention. I am just going to conclude on that. There is a famous story, and that story is related to the victory of Madain. There are so many evidences I have. Inshallah, we will going to discuss those evidences in the next some of the discussions. But I want to conclude on that, and that is when Madain was conquered by Sayyidina in the time of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And the spoil of war, the Male Ghanimat, that was over there. And Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala distributing it. So he gave 500 dirham to his son, and he gave 1,000 to Sayyidina Imam Hussain. 2 times more he gave to Sayyidina Imam Hussain, other than his son. So when his son saw that I have been given 500 and Sayyidina Imam Hussain has been given 1,000, so just to ask, he asked that, "Oh my father, O Khalifatul Mu'mineen, O the Caliph of the believers, why you have given me 500 and given Imam Hussain 1,000? What's the reason behind that?" So Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala, see his love with the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, "Abuhuma khairum min abuk." His father is better than your father. And who was his father? Sayyidina Ali. So he said that because his father Ali is better than your father, that's why I have given him more than you. And then he says, "Wa ummahuma khairum min ummik." And the mother of Sayyidina Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain is better than your mother. That's why I have given more than you to Sayyidina Imam Hassan and Sayyidina Imam Hussain. And in one reports, Imam Razi reports, and he says that when he was asked, so he says that if you want to get the share equal to them, فَأْتِنِي بِأَبٍ كَأَبِهِمَا وَأُمٍّ كَأُمِّهِمَا وَجَدٍّ كَجَدِّهِمَا وَجَدَّةٍ كَجَدَّتِهِمَا وَعَمٍّ كَعَمِّهِمَا وَعَمَّةٍ كَعَمَّتِهِمَا وَخَالٍ كَخَالِهِمَا وَخَالَةٍ كَخَالَتِهِمَا فَإِنَّكَ لَا تَأْتِينِي بِهَا. Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he mentioned all of the relations of Sayyidina Imam Hassan and Sayyidina Imam Hussain. That if you want to get share equal to them, go bring a father like the father of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. Go bring a mother like the mother of Sayyidina Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. Go bring a grandfather, because their grandfather is Rasulullah. Go bring a grandfather like the grandfather of Sayyidina Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain. And go bring a grandmother. Their grandmother is Sayyida Khadijatul-Kubra salamu alayha. Go bring a grandmother like their grandmother. And then bring the aunts like their aunts. And bring the uncles then like the uncles which Allah has given to them. So if Allah has not given you the relation equal to them and like them, so how I can give you the share equal to them? This was the love of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the respect of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu with the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when it was quoted and it was mentioned in front of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu ta'ala anhu has said that. So he said that I have listened something from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Umaru siraji ahlil jannah." The lamp which will enlighten the whole Jannah of Allah Almighty, that is Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. See, he is mentioning the fadilat of Ahle Bait, and Sayyidina Ali is mentioning the fadilat of Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. This was the mutual love and respect which they have for each other. So definitely, as Quran mentioned, Ashidda'u alal kuffar, when the matters of kufr comes and they are against the kuffar, so they are so much hard and tough that they can take the lives of the kuffar to defend Islam, and ruhama'u bainahum, and when the matter comes of their mutual respect and relation with each other, so they are ready to sacrifice their lives for each other. My brothers and sisters, the conclusion is that there are so many other evidences, but upon this we are going to conclude, and the conclusion is that the Ahlul Bayt is one of the branch which we get from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also the Sahaba is also one of the branch which we get from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if we want to become a true believer, we have to hold both of these branches, then we will be able to get to the court of Rasulullah, and through Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam we will be able to get to the court of Allah Almighty. May Allah give us the love of Ahlul Bayt, the love of Sahaba Kiram, the love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his love. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa ma alayna illa al-balaghul mubin.